you've had a career where you've really been working since you were a kid.
Yeah.
You worked this whole time to success, really. And obviously the show is dealing with that
Yeah.
on its own level. Is that something like, do you sit down and do you kind of think about like what you would say to someone who either is up-and-coming actor or up-and-coming musician to be able to be in it the way that you have been, as long as you have been?
Yeah, once in a while I get emails from, parents or something who have a 15-year-old
Right.
kid who wants to get into the business, and it's not easy to communicate things because it is a tough business. I hesitate to throw my kids into it, but at the same time I would never restrict them from it. So it's interesting.
Are they aware of what you do? Like your kids are aware of that you've been doing this since you were younger, or no?
I mean, I have a 9 and 7-year-old and a baby, so they're aware. I think it's hard for them to comprehend the amount of time.
Yeah.
It's funny, my son is almost as old as I was when I started.
Well, I mean, he could be watching some of your early projects, is more what I was thinking.
Yeah, they've watched Camp Nowhere and, parts of Tuck Everlasting. My daughter, she's so sweet. She sometimes, because when they released the film, they put the poster of the movie on the book.
Right,
They re-released
right.
the book, so sometimes she sleeps with the book because it's really precious. So, they get it. I think they get inspired by the creative elements of it. My son is already writing books.
Nice.
Because he sees me writing all the time. My daughter, loves to sing, and because she sees me singing, my wife and I sing together, and so more than the business aspect or the sense of I try to tell my kids, look, being famous is not something to strive after.
Right.
It's a byproduct if it's meant to be, and in some ways it's a cross to carry because it changes your life. So I'm trying to show them the difference between loving what you do and not putting your soul into the acclaim or the criticism.
Yeah.
Because the criticism can crush you, and if you accept the praise, then you're going to accept the criticism too.
Right.
So you have to sort of just kind of ignore all of it and just love the actual artistry of it,
There's the great moment in the pilot where Connie pretty much stands up and says, kiss my ass as the door hits it, because she doesn't want to put up with what the business side wants her to do. Was there ever a moment in your career where you got to that point because of maybe the work coming your way, or?
Well, yeah. I feel like there's always been that streak in me.
So what keeps you, what kept you going?
I always feel like I guess maybe I don't understand your question.
Well, if you get to a point where you don't like what the business is asking you to do.
Right.
But you love the craft so much.
Right.
What keeps you, how do you find the balance?
It's a tough, it's a tough place to be. The business itself can drive you crazy, because in some ways it's completely adverse to the artistic process at times, I think it was a benefit that I started so young. A lot of young child actors go through a hard time and don't come out very well. I had a very strong family support system. I have a very strong faith, and so that's played a huge role in putting all of it in perspective. And when you start something that young, it's like I don't really have much of a choice at this point. It's like this is my life, it's my career.
Yeah.
I didn't go to college because I was working. People most of the time go to college so that they can begin a career.
Right.
And so this is my career, for better or worse. But I think for my sanity, I've expanded it beyond acting. That's why I've gone into music and writing and all that.
Speaking of that, do you want to see some of your music on the show? Like bring your brother on with you and perform?
Sure.
Is that an option, a conversation you guys have had?
That would be amazing. You know, one of the things that I've learned over the years is to not have expectations around stuff like that. Like I said, for me as an actor, I'm here to serve their show.
Yeah.
And if what I'm doing as a songwriter, you know, with E Nation or my brother and so on and so forth, stuff like that, if that happens to gel, if it fits, then that would be, you know, awesome and cool. But I don't have any expectations around it, and I don't expect them to do any of that. It would just be more like, but they've said that they want to hear original songs and they, you know, want to listen to that stuff. So, I mean, the first 2 songs I've done were written by Elvis Costello, so it's not time yet. They're obvious, you know.
But even just being on the set, like around that kind of creativity, have you been inspired to write new music for yourself, just based on what you've been experiencing?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've actually taken a pause. 'Cause I write music all the time, and I've been writing for so many years that I have so many songs backlogged that I haven't had time to record with the band, that it's like I got to the point where it's like I don't even want to write any more songs until I get some more recorded. And I think being exposed to Nashville and working with T-Bone and everything, it's like I just want to be in the moment with this. I want to experience it and observe, learn, and just kind of take it all in. I haven't really felt the need to write more songs, but I do want to record some of the ones that have already been written.
Okay.
That would be fun.
Are you at a point in your career where you kind of can nod to some of the
Absolutely
things you've done?
You know, it's funny. People comment on Camp Nowhere all the time. I was 12 years old when I did that, and but I love it. It's cool. It's a fun memory, you know, and it's cool to meet people in their 20s or maybe even their 30s who grew up on that movie, you know. It's so weird for me. It's,
well, you grew up on that movie
I know,
too,
exactly.
so it shouldn't. I mean,
but it's all the same. It's just strange. It's just like I meet people and I think there's no way that you were ever that young and that you ever enjoyed that movie.
Right.
It's like, so yeah, no, that's cool.